Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramsey Smith Isn't Funny podcast. We're back. You're back. I told you every single Thursday it's getting released. That's why I'm recording this at 6 p.m. Wednesday, because I'm a hustler. I believe. All right. I got the spirit of a ageless vampire who's fed up with the universe because he understands all of its cruel tricks. I don't know what that metaphor means, but what I'm trying to say is I'm here. I recorded one on Saturday, actually Sunday. Not that it matters. Actually Tuesday. Now I'm really thinking about it, and I thought it wasn't up to scratch. I thought a different pod wasn't where it needed to be, so I figured we'd cut that. Don't worry, you guys don't have to listen to it. Cut it, new one with a new vibe. So I hope that's going to be good. Okay, it's going to be good. But yeah, we're here. We're here. I don't know if you noticed, we got a new little setup. I'm in front of a cupboard, sitting down, and you're kind of looking down on me. So any camera fans any movie magic makers know that it makes me look small, because I'm just a little boy. So you get to feel like a big mummy, and me just a little boy. And I think I kind of like it. Oh my goodness, we're here, guys. Thank you so much. I've been listening to some music recently. I don't know if there's this guy called David, but it's a 4. It's like D4, VD, something like that. And apparently he's been arrested for killing a lady, and he had sex with a minor, or grooming, that type of thing. He makes like TikTok songs that are bad. He's got that song about I can't wait how long it takes. When I'm with you, I got a smile on my... Which is apparently about grooming a minor. Hence the whole waiting and blah, blah, blah. This is all unfounded, and I've seen like 3 reels about it, so I believe it 100%. And one Reddit post... So it's been a Reddit verified, which is all you need to put into my brain to have me believe something 100%, right? Anyway, his music isn't... This is a weird... Because people talk about separating the art. If you got good art, but you're a bad person, you separate the art and the artist. This guy makes bad art because it's just TikTok music. You put it over a sad scene from a different movie, and you put that song over it, and it makes it feel sad because it's just on the surface level of sad. It's gilded with sadness. And so it doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Right? It doesn't do anything. So it's a bad song. It's bad art. And he's a bad guy. But for some reason, when you combine the information that he's like a bad... I think they found the lady in his trunk. And she wasn't alive. They found a lady, all right? It just is what it is, okay? So when you combine that it's a bad person, and he's some kind of singing about bad stuff, with the bad, it weirdly makes the music better. I've been listening to it just before I hopped on the pod, because I'm insane, right? I'm like, because I recognized the songs, then I saw the news that he got arrested, and they found a woman's body in the trunk of his car, which, not a great sign, right? There's not a lot of explanations, but there are a couple, all right? There's a couple. Apparently she was sliced up pretty bad, but, cars be like that, Hey, it was there when I bought it. Hey-yo, spin the little, bow tie. Hey, how do you know it wasn't in there when I bought the car? All right, come on, One of these dodgy dealerships, I'm not going to say the race of the car salesman, but let's just say, we're not even going to say it. But, pick whatever race you thought might not even hide a body in the car. What would this guy use to say, oh, those people hide bodies in cars all the time? Whatever that is for you, right? But they found a lady, so he's a very bad person. But then you listen to the music with the information that he's like a terrible guy. And you're like, this makes the music just a touch better. Because now it means something, right? Because it sounds like just pointless drivel of, oh, I like you, blah. You know what I mean? Like boring, non-innovative, TikTok-y music, right? It's just, oh, it's sad. I get it, right? But it's like, oh no, this guy's fucking insane. This guy killed people. Makes it a little bit better. So sometimes you got to combine the bad art and the bad artist to have a good experience with their music, you know? Sometimes you have to do that. And I use have to as exactly as it means. That's something you need to do, or else, you know, forget about it. Forget about life. Forget about living, right? But yeah, look, I'm back. I'm here, guy. Hey, I told you, every single Thursday, here's what, if you're suicidal, which I imagine you are if you listen to this weekly, this is your benchmark for every single week. You know how they say little things? If you're suicidal, they say, hey, if you're talking to someone, find something little that they're looking forward to and just say that, you know? There was a lady once who was about to jump off a bridge. Or a building, probably. I feel like a bridge, because when the bridge is over water and they jump off, they say the surface tension of the water with the falling should kill you on impact, but I don't trust that. Because you just dive in. You just, you know what I mean? Then you're just wet. You're just in water under the fucking Golden Gate Bridge swimming around. Probably get eaten by a shark or something. And purposely eaten by a shark, got to be one of the worst suicides ever. Right? Because it's barely suicide. Because the moment you think you're in the water with a shark, you don't want to die. You desperately want to live. So really, if you are depressed, go swimming with sharks. You'll want to live for a little bit. And then you'll be dead. But for the time you're in the water and you die, depression cured. Right? You'll be in the water. It's just how it works. It's just how it's science, all right? I don't want to argue with science, right? But, you know, some sharks are nice, you know? Maybe if you're trying, I don't know. You know, like you can pat some sharks, or if they're not hungry, they're meant to just be curious about you. But when you break the surface tension, they think something. Anyway, you're probably dying, right? But I think this lady was jumping off a building, and I think someone was talking. This may have just been a joke that I've remembered that isn't true. But I believe what happened was someone, because they have like the firefighters there who are like, hey, don't jump, you know? And they're just trying to get closer to grab you. They don't care if you have a will to live. They just want you not to die because it fucks up their numbers, right? Their stats. No, they probably care. I think if you're a firefighter, you probably care about life. If you're a firefighter, you wanted to do good, but you didn't want to be a wanker, right? Like a police officer. Because police officers they probably think they're doing good, but they also want to be a bad person, right? And then, I think to work in an ambulance or a doctor, you got to be smart. So a firefighter is like a dumb good guy, which is the best type of guy ever, right? Dumb good guy. If you have a dumb good guy, keep him. Keep him forever. Because that guy's just going to be going around doing good. Doing dumb good. And he'll die being like, I did some good. And he'll be right. Maybe the only person that's ever been truly fulfilled ever is a dumb good person. Because I think if you're dumb and you're bad, it haunts you, right? You'll be like, oh, you're bad, and then you don't. Intellectually, you go, oh, I'm going to be bad. But that wasn't good that I did like, for the bad guy, I did like an ethnic act. That's not good. I'm not saying someone that sounds like that is bad, but someone could be bad that sounds like that. Anyway, the ghosts haunt us forever. The ghosts never leave us. They will always be on your shoulder. What you realize about life is as you're a blank slate. And then you're meant to go out there and live life. But no one tells you that some of these marks on your slate, they'll never get rubbed off. They'll chase you forever. You know, like memories of you. You know, it's with you for you'll always be that. It'll never leave you in your psyche. All right. A lady was jumping off a building, And this was in like the 2000s. So someone goes, oh, like she goes, oh, why? What's there to live for? And this is definitely a joke from a British comedian that I heard. But I think it applies to real life as well. They go, oh, the Harry Potter books. There'll be a new one coming out soon. This was why the Harry Potter books were coming out. And I think she was a fan of the Harry. She goes, oh, true. And you know what? I'll stay. I won't jump off the building because I want to read those Harry Potter books, you know? Yeah. So basically, if you don't kill yourself, you can give more money to a transphobe. Right? That's kind of the moral of the story. Everyone who did kill themselves didn't find out the later Harry Potter books, didn't contribute to J.K. Rowling's transphobia. So maybe you should kill yourself. Obviously, the person at the time didn't know that. They were going to fucking, she was going to go nuts, in the trans. You know what I mean? She used to be like woke. She was like, oh, Dumbledore's gay. Right? Hey, look at me, Dumbledore. That's the story of J.K. Rowling. Is she loved the woke because it was all nerds that loved her shit. And nerds are woke because you have to believe in social justice if you can never excel in any hierarchy ever. Right? So, not a single one, right? There's Harry Potter hierarchies, I'm sure there are, whatever. But, so she's got all these fucking young nerds who believe in magic. And they go, what house am I? What house am I? I like to say I'm a Gryffindor, but I'm probably a Hufflepuff. Jump off the building. Just jump. No. But basically, this is J.K. Rowling's story, right? Bloody, beautiful. I used to be poor and Scottish. Now I'm rich. And you know what? I'm English now. Because I upgraded. Right? It's probably what she's saying. She's going, guess what? I don't have to be Scottish anymore. I'm fucking rich. Fuck you. I'm British. I feel like when you're poor, you're just Scottish, but then you evolve into British, right? And then, all these people love her, and she's like, yeah, keep on loving me, And then she kind of does some maybe coded. Look, is Dumbledore gay? I think so. I think that might be, I don't know. It's like it's coded social justice language for a lot of it, right? The houses, the Slytherins are white supremacists, even though there's a couple blacks in the Slytherins. But they're magic supremacists, right? So but that's what they're coded for, right? And then she goes, you know what, Dumbledore's gay. 100%. Right? I think she put some subtle stuff in the book. I can't remember. But she goes, Dumbledore, definitely gay, without a doubt. She's like, how did you... Of course he's gay. Did you read it any other way? Like, how did you read the book and think he's not gay? Right? What, did you read it upside down, you fucking moron? Gaslighting the audience. Being like, no, I don't... It never says anything about Dumbledore. If anything, then his relationship with Harry... Not saying all gay men are pedophiles, but when he grows up, he goes, "Hey, this kid's all right. He's got that beautiful James face, but he's got his mother's eyes, them green. I'm sexually attracted to green eyes. Like, that's what I do when I see him. Ooh, I'm keen for the green." But yeah, so that happened in Harry Potter. And then she goes, oh, Dumbledore's definitely gay. And then they were like casting some show or spin-off. And they made Hermione black. Or they were going to. I don't know. It's a new... Who cares? It's all over. It's all finished anyway. Make fucking all of them black, Make Hagrid 2 foot tall. Who gives a shit? No one's why are you watching it? Why are you watching it, alright? Snape is Asian. Okay? And guess what? The only white character in the whole school, their name's Cho Chang. So what the fuck are you going to do about it, right? Who gives a shit, right? This one white person, it's Cho Chang's the one white Harry Potter character. She's like, hey, I don't know why she's American. It's like, hey, I'm Cho Chang. I grew up in Cali and then I moved over here. I'm a wizard and I'm white. My parents are just like so into China. You know, they're a bit weird. My dad's a weeb. Yo. Okay. So JK, she's just been accepted by all the, you know. Ooh, everyone love me. Ooh, yeah. Harry. Yeah, Hagrid's black gay. He's a black gay. He's both. Both. BOAF. Do whatever you want, right? And then the woke's the pastor. Not even woke. By the way, I think she's a bad person. You shouldn't be transphobic, right? She's just she's a rich cunt, is what she kind of is. But you can only be progressive and rich for so long. Because when you're rich, you go, hey, this is the society in which I got rich in. Let's keep it like that. I'm rich. And then society goes, hey, remember, help, come on, fuck off. You just wrote some shitty books. And then so now, who knows what's going on? Now the only people that are into Harry Potter are nerds, but they're also nerds with no morals. Which I think is both the most nerds, right? I think is the majority of it. But it's a bad combination to go see the fucking whatever movie. Because if you're in, you know, remember when Trump 2016 and people were like, ooh, he's Voldemort, but we gotta stand to shut the fuck up. Right? And then J.K. Rowling's like, I'm actually right wing and I hate trans people. And they were like, oh, we got Voldemort's coming from inside the house. It's kind of what happened, I guess. It's my recollection of things. Oh, bro, I was doing this acting gig a couple months ago. And one of the others, like just extra stuff. But one of the other actors was the most autistic, which is fine. But he was the annoying type of autistic. And I don't think it's an excuse for being annoying, right? It's an excuse for sometimes fucking the convo up. I'll give you fucking a convo up. You bring a convo to a dead halt, hey, respect. I understand. I got autism. I do it all the time. Probably. I don't know if I have autism. Just been on the TikToks. The autism TikToks, where they're like, this is what autistic people do. And I go, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But anyway. Oh, yeah, it's just this guy. This fucking guy would just talk about whatever subject he wanted to talk about to, like, you know, people who can talk and no one's listening and they keep on talking and everyone's clearly disengaged from the conversation. People stop looking at you and kind of reacting to anything you say. It's just unaware, right? And when someone's unaware, you're meant to say, hey, buddy, shut up. Is that the nice thing to do? Because they're not aware. Maybe they don't. But, you know, you can train your autistic people better. I'm saying this is what I think I'm a well-trained autistic. You got to train them, right? Shock collars. No, don't do that. But hey, could be worth a try. Could be worth a shot, you know? So that's how I feel about Harry Potter. No, but this guy was just talking about who's the kid that played Malfoy, the boy. Tom Felton. Because Tom Felton's the only one, not the only one, I don't know. Some of them are getting a check, right? The Weasley boys, the twins, they got a check at the studios, which I went to because my wife wanted to. We got 2 tickets, gave some money to a transphobe. It's not that she's just a transphobe, but she gives legislation to help take away trans rights. So it was a bad thing to do, sure. Sure it was. But you know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it because every 4 months a fucking crocodile eats a person. in far north Queensland, right? When you do put things in that perspective, it does make you not care about this stuff. But I understand where Bob Carter was at when he said that, right? But basically, we went there, and then there's the Weasley twins, and they're saying, "Oh, welcome to the thing," and they do a little blah blah blah. They got to check, it's you got an acting job when you were fucking 11. You're 11 years old, and you probably got, molested by fucking Chris Columbus, the explorer, not even the director. The explorer came back and molested you because he's Spanish. Watch what they're doing. And, he's the twins, and then all of a sudden you're like you're not even a movie star, right? You're the worst place because the main three, right? Harry, Ron, Cho Chang's brother, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they can go do stuff because they're star. They got X. Their name means something, right? Hermione Granger, Emma Watson. She went to Brown, which I'm told is a university. It's not like the sister side of Blacked. She went to Brown. She does and she did movies. She did movies, and she's the main character. And I don't know if the movies did well. I don't know if anyone fucking cared. Right? The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I remember seeing ads for that. Didn't see it, but she had short hair. Good for you. Now she's speaking on. She's rich. Right? She's rich. The other three are rich. Right? Ron's fucked off. What's his name? Rupert. Rupert said, all right, fucking, that was fine. I'm going to fuck off. Probably lives on a farm and, you know what I mean? Drives into town and some dumb bitch is like, I'm going to fuck Ron. Great life. Amazing. And then obviously, Daniel Radcliffe. He's doing movies. He's fine. He was in that Magic. Now You See Me. Maybe Now You See Me Too. He was in that. It was like, oh, isn't it funny? Because he's magic. He's the wizard kid. Who cares? The point is, the three of those, sweet. Kind of sorted. Sorted for life, I'm sure. But then you get into the background characters, maybe not so sorted for life. Little bit less money. You have the bigger established actors. So obviously, the first Dumbledore actor, he got to die. So he doesn't have to worry about any of that. I don't know what the second Dumbledore, but he's like a good actor. You know what I mean? They had a bunch of great, the older actors, the adult actors who were all very talented and I'm sure had great careers. They had great careers beforehand. They have great careers after, or they die. They're fine. That's just a gig for them, right? But the young actors, they've got some of them are probably shit actors. They just know how to do this one thing now, right? The twins are like, hey, we could be magical twins if you want. That's them they still go together to auditions, I'm sure. And they're just both of them. And they go, hey, we could be magical twins who are cheeky. And they go, what if one of you just read this part that's like you're behind a desk and you go, I don't know how to. You guys cry? And you go, oh, I don't know. One of them could cry. The other one died in the movie. Spoiler alert. And the book. What, double whammy. Died twice. Movie and book. But, that... Oh, man, there was a train of thought here, wasn't there? There was. Don't tell me there wasn't a train of thought. There was. The point is now they're just attached to this fucking movie, right? So if they do want to go off and be actors, there's going to be that you can't put those cunts in a movie because it takes you out of the movie. It goes, oh, is that one of the Harry Potter twins? That's one of the gingers. It's one of those they got a cheeky ginger. They got the cheeky gingers from Harry Potter in, don't they? Right? That's what people be screaming out in the theatre. They got the cheeky gingers in from Harry Potter. But you're not set for life. You sure you got 7? I'm sure it was good for those 7 movies. If you saved it away, you probably got a good head start. But now what? You got to go get a real job Or you can fucking knock onto Harry Potter Studio and go, I'll film some shit. I don't care. Give me some money, dog. Right? Hopefully they're rude to her. But this guy I was doing acting with, who was deep into the spectrum, would just kind of talk, and he just got into a thing about how much he hated Tom Felton because Tom Felton's in the stage play. And it was like, oh, you got to move on, get out of here, move on. Fuck off. Why does he have to move on, you know? I understand if you have a trans issue, absolutely, which I do. I'd like to remind you that I may say some bad words and make some jokes about people that should kill themselves, but I'm woke. I'm a woke lefty cuck, all right? Don't forget it. Do not forget it. These are my opinions. These are my opinions. But the guy was kind of more mad that the guy didn't move on with his life. And it's like, shut up. Some people don't move on with their lives. Most people, it used to be you worked the same job your whole life. Bloody got out of high school, jumped into the, fucking tiling business. Then you retired at, 65, 70, you had a pension. That's all you did your whole life. You're a fucking boring cunt. But if you're a good, dumb, boring cunt, as we establish, great life. That's what, So he's just, that's Tom Felton's version of never leaving the tiling job. Right? He's with the same company, got him on a good pension, got to take care of that fella. Good bennies, good benefits, eh? Don't move on with your life is really what I'm saying. I'm saying is don't judge someone for not moving on, because we're all on our own path. And let's just be real. That guy should, whatever your life is, you should move on if you're that guy. Who cares? Actors are quite annoying. I don't know if you've realized that. Okay, well, I didn't think we'd talk about Harry Potter that long. I had no fucking idea. Jesus Christ, we chewed up some time. Speaking of time, remember in Harry Potter with the time? Why don't they time travel? Why didn't they stop 9/11? That's a movie. Now, you want to do sequels of Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling, if you're still listening, you got the beautiful franchise. It's a great franchise, right? Amazing franchise. Notable characters, the magic. Oh, people love the wands, right? But you got bring back the time turner. Have Harry Potter's kids. They're in school. Voldemort's been defeated, right? He's all good. There's no more evil. The Slytherins are fine now, right? Like, kind of fine. They're fine in the same way like the southern states in America are fine. Where it's like, we all kind of remember who you sided with, but for the sake of unity, we're going to forget about that. You guys are going to be all right. The Slytherins are, the Virginias. Well, the Virginias, I believe they were part of the rebels. There's like Carolina. Yeah, I think both Carolinas were on the rebels, right? Where you go, sure, look, they sided with, the Dark Lord. For the rebels, it would be against the Dark. Okay. But you know what I'm talking about. They're fine now. So for the sake of unity, right? So that's the Harry Potter that the kids exist in, right? But then you bring back the time turner, right? And they go, oh, we found this time turner. You have a whole fun little spin-off book. And whatever the fucking dumb names of the Harry Potter kids are, they become friends, right? Oh, fucking Joseph. I don't know, Joseph. There's no Joseph. You know what I mean? He's like Albus Severus Snibulus Cho Chang Potter, right? It's the adventures of that cunt, right? The adventures of that cunt, and Hogwarts Adventure, stopping 9/11, right? So you get the time turner, and you wind it back, and they're trying to do their magic, right? And what happens is they get there, but they're too late because the time turner. You can't change time. It's a time loop. We established that in the third book. That's why they don't use it again. But these kids are young. They're naive. They don't understand what their parents have been through. They're raw. They're fresh. Right? So they go back, right? Time turner. Zip, zip. They're like, oh, we're here the morning. It was a Tuesday of September 11, 2001. And they go, oh, shit, we got to run around. They go, oh, no, we time traveled, but we didn't place travel. We're still in Scotland. We're still in Hogwarts, and we're too young to apparate. We got to get on our apparate. If you don't know Harry Potter, what are you still listening? Apparate's where they can travel, where they can, like, you know what I mean? Teleport. But they're too young to teleport, so they got to get on their broomsticks. And they go, oh, we got a couple that we can make it to New York in time. So they broomstick over to New York on September 11th, 2001. And here's what happens, right? They get there, and then one of them casts the spell to stop it, right? But they're young wizards, right? And they try to stop the plane, but the plane, it's already hit into the tower, right? But then he does his magic, right? And that's what brings the actual building down, is the magic, right? They go, and then the building comes down, like, after he magics. So the plane hits, and they go, oh, reversio, thinking they can do it, but they're not powerful enough. Then it actually reverses the structure of the whole building. So then both the towers come down. And then there's a whole, like, cleanup, you know what I mean? Like, because you know how the Wizard Council, like, shows up and they're like, oh, my goodness, somebody did magic here when they shouldn't have. The terrorism was real. Like, the people, it was still Saudis in the cockpit who threw it there. That was all real. But the actual demolition was magical. So then the magical council's got to come in and say, all right, wipe everyone's mind. We got to convince these guys that the jet fuel can melt steel beams. And then if you're extra resistant to magic, oh, you see, you're a conspiracy theorist. You can see through all of that. You're a fucking, you're the wizard. You are the wizard, you know? All sorts of stuff. You can do the time turner. They go back, try and stop the Holocaust, you know? And then maybe they accidentally turn Hitler crazy, you know? No, okay, is that a bit much? Is it a little bit much? You do, because it's still J.K. Rowling writing the books. So you do the time turner, and then you go back to, like, you go back to, like, Weimar Germany as the Nazi party's rising. And then you have the characters see that, oh, they seem to be burning all the books on gender studies and queer culture and transgenderism, and all the research on the first ever sex change that was done in Berlin. And then the kids come back to the present, and they go, oh, the Nazis weren't that bad. They were onto some stuff. Because it's J.K. Rowling. I'm not saying that. J.K. is saying that, right? They go, oh, it's all right. You know, he can be that. They're onto something, though. Those books need a burn, you know? Oh, my goodness. Harry Potter in the burning of the gender studies book in fucking Berlin in the fucking Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Was Jesus magic in that? I feel like she would have wrote some fucking bit about how Jesus was actually like a wizard. You know what I mean? Who broke because then he broke the rules by showing people his magic, and then the Romans killed him. The wink was to say the wizards killed him, not the people that killed him. They didn't kill him. Oh man, I don't know where we go from here. I feel like this is just the Harry Potter pod. What do we start? Oh, we start off with the guy killing the guy. Fair enough. What other time travel stuff can you do? They never do time travel. It's sad, you know. Oh my goodness. Because now all the main three hate J. I don't know if they hate JK, but they have a bad relationship in the press. So maybe they do the time machine to go back to 1999 when they're doing the casting for Harry Potter, and before they cast him, they just go, "What do you think of trans people?" And it's 1999, so they go, "I don't know what that is." And then JK goes, "Look, if you want to be in the fucking film, you don't like them." Because I don't know what she sounds like. She's Scottish. She sounds like Shrek. All right, let's finish that. Let's finish the JK stuff. I had some stuff I kind of wanted to go to. So, Baby Reindeer is a film. It's a TV show. It's a series. Everything's a series now, which is really just a 6-hour-long film. And I watched this. I started watching. I didn't get into it. I think maybe I watched like 10 minutes, and I was like, fuck this. And then someone was like, it's got some comedy stuff in it. And then I met a lady at a comic, and we were talking, because it was a big thing for a while. It was like the main thing. It was the main TV show people were talking about, especially in comedy circles. And they're Baby Reindeer. She goes, you got to watch Hey. I'm like, I've kind of had a hard time getting into it. She's like, hey, just get to episode 3. That's the best that's a great episode. Get to episode 3 and you'll finish it, right? Which is like half the series, by the way. But I get to episode 3, and it's just a guy getting raped for the whole thing. It's a guy getting groomed, drugged, and then raped. That's what it is. That's what the episode is. So this lovely Russian lady was like, episode 3, it's going to be a great episode. Which was a bit much for me, As much as I'm fine with joking about that stuff. Have a laugh about it all you want. But I can't sit down and watch it, because that's fucking insane, by the way. Anyone who's going to tell you that you're a bad person for making a rape joke, but then also be like, here, can just watch a dramatic depiction of rape. How are you not the worst person? How I'm extracting the seriousness of it and treating it as abstract because it's fucked. It is fucked. That's why it's funny, because you just want to. This is a good person who can't stand rape jokes, watching a skinny Scottish guy just get raped for 45 minutes. Yeah, 10 out of 10, that one. Give that all the awards. Gold star. It was whatever. It was fine. It was a failed comedian, because he failed at being a comedian, because the show's not that funny, right? There's a couple laughs in episode 3, but no. The show, it's got some funny, whatever. It's funny because it's showing how bad doing stand-up is when you're bad, and also just how bad it is in general, right? It's got a weird vibe to it. Fine. The show, it's impactful, it's powerful. It wasn't comedy, and it's not. Just do comedy anyway. The show was fine. I didn't finish it, but I know it won a lot of stuff, and it was a solo show at the Edinburgh Fringe. That's how it got picked up, and I'm sure it's a powerful story, and it's good, and you should talk about, male mental health, blah, 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 right? The guy couldn't be a comedian. He failed. He wasn't able to do it. So he changed, and he became a different type of artist. He was able to get his... He obviously wanted to do comedy, floundered around, couldn't figure out comedy, it's a hard game. I haven't figured it out. You don't think I'm going to get fucking raped by some guy in the Edinburgh Fringe in 2 years? You don't think that's going to happen? You have no idea about me then. If you don't think that's going to happen, right? Then I'll be making Baby Reindeer, but it'll be Baby Walrus with me. Fat joke. Come on now. No, but so this guy, he was trying to be a comedian. Then he became an important artist. And I understand it's a good story and you tell your truth and all that shit, but he wanted to be that when he was trying to be a comedian. because I know how these people's souls work. I know how their mind works. There's some people who get into comedy to be funny, and we love those people because that's what it is. Pure funny in a little tube, a little. I picture funny in like a golden little tube, and it's very rare. You know what I mean? To be newly funny, to find old funny, but then it's rotten. But to find new sparks, I just picture a little golden drop in a little test tube. That's what we're searching for. That's what comics. Look, man, not to get gay about comedy, but look, that's what I like being fun. But I know people. There's a lot of people in comedy who they get into comedy and they genuinely want to express themselves, and they want to feel, and they want to challenge the art form, but not challenge it in a way to make it funny. To challenge it in a way to make it serious and for you to feel things. And that has a right to exist. It's like another state I know that has a right to exist. It has a right to exist. And I don't have a problem with it. But when you are someone who's interested in being funny, let's say I'm not funny, right? But who's just interested in the funny part, they have this commingling. And I just don't want to mingle with these people when you're trying to be funny. You know what I mean? When you're just trying to be funny, you don't want to mingle with the people who are like, oh, jokes are just structure, but I'm trying to prove my point. It's like, no, go beyond jokes and the structure and tap into people. I'm saying this as a fucking, I'm not like I'm doing anything. The point is, after Baby Reindeer came out of the most recent Edinburgh Fringe, I'm sure that there were a lot of comedians, some of which I know, some of which I don't know, who were going to Edinburgh kind of hoping to meet a similar fate to Baby Reindeer, so in 5 years' time, they could win a bunch of Emmys and shit. So they could tell their truth. Because a lot of people who want to tell their truth and they got no truth that's interesting. But if a tall ginger, movie, what was he? Was it a writer in the show? TV writer and producer and head writer. If he grooms you and then drugs you and then does some sodomy to you, you can get an hour and a half show out of that. Bloody get a Netflix deal out of that, And there were some people who were walking into Edinburgh and they were praying, I know I was, all right? No, I wasn't. But it is funny because now I'm in the UK and I don't think I'm at that because it's at least how the Baby Reindeer guy made it seem in the show. It seemed like the guy who did the bad stuff to rape him was quite high level within the UK entertainment industry, right? But also now I'm doing comedy here and I'm in London. Every time I meet any ginger guy with a beard, I'm like, are you the guy? Is it? Did you rape Baby Reindeer? You know what I mean? Any ginger guy with a beard, I go, I wonder if this is the guy, right? At any proper comedy club, you got a tall ginger with a beard, like, oh, was it you? Probably wasn't them. But hey, could be them. It'd be fun. Be fun to meet the guy. It'd be fun to know who it is. I should ask around. I can probably find out. Open secret. One of those ones. One of those Harvey Weinstein things happening, but with men. Did any of the Weinstein victims write a really good one-woman show? No. Lack of initiative. Lack of initiative. All right, well, this has been quite terrible, I think. I think 44... This is good. It's a good length. We talked about 2 topics. We fucking smashed it out. Guys, thank you so much. We need more listeners for the podcast. And if you've listened this far, I know you're a true soldier. And I salute you, sir. So here's my challenge to you. Go tell 10 of your friends to listen to the pod. To this pod. Say, hey, I'm a big fan of this guy. And then you won't have them as friends anymore. They will leave you as friends. But hey, fucking who knows? Go for it. They probably will leave you as friends. But you go for it. Say, hey man, what if we joined a fan club for the Ramsey Smith Isn't Funny podcast. Wouldn't that be ironic and kind of gay in a cool way? Sell it like that. Sell it like, oh, it's ironic. We're going to be the biggest fans of this shitty podcast. Fucking, we're going to watch we're going to upvote it. We're going to tell all our friends. But it's ironic. I still get the views. So if you know any really, because we need that, because you got that for music. You've got ironic hipsters who will want to discover artists who no one's looking for. I don't think anyone's like that with podcasting. But if they are, number one, you're a loser. But number two, be a loser for this one. Right? This is underground, undercover. I've said rape a lot. Right? You know, even in the comedy podcasts that claim to be pro-free speech and they go to Saudi Arabia, they still censor rape. Not me. Not me. So tell all your friends, anyone that's a fan of J.K. Rowling or otherwise, or suicide, actually mainly if they're fans of that, send them over. But I've been actually feeling pretty good. I've been feeling mentally healthy. Remember, if the podcast is not out on Thursday, I am dead. Call my loved ones, if you can get a hold of them, and just say, hey, don't tell them you listen to the podcast. Say something like, oh, hey, I'm here at, Highgate Hospital and your son is dead. Say something fun like that. Call them up, say, hey, your son was in an accident and he's probably not going to pull through. He's been brain dead for 6 hours. We couldn't get a hold of his wife. We need you to tell us to pull the plug. No, we can't FaceTime. We don't have this is the NHS. We're not going to fucking FaceTime, all right? Actually, I've only got 2 minutes left of this call, so make a fucking decision. Are we pulling the plug or not? Goodbye. Do something fun like that. Call up, say you're a police officer, and we need you. Call my wife and say, hey, we're a police officer. I need you at this address to identify your husband's body, right? Say that if the podcast doesn't happen on Thursday, because I am probably dead and they do need to know, right? But make sure you pretend to be somebody who could have information that I am dead, right? Call them up, say, hey, my name's Jimmy. I'm from the IDF. You'll never see Ramsey again. Bleep. Do that. Do that. No, that would never happen because the IDF are my best friends. Keep this podcast on YouTube, Netanyahu. I'm begging you. Begging. All right, I don't know if that... Does the sound good? Because I would imagine it doesn't. But unless someone tells me, I'm not going to stop doing it. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. What did you feel like you were looking down on me? I'm like a poor boy saying, hey, look, I'm a comic. I can be funny. I'll entertain you. Throw me some change. I think I want to start a Patreon because I think that would be funny to have, less on for the Spotify. I have less than 10 listeners a week, and I think it'd be funny to start a Patreon. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Ramsey Smith podcast. Good night, Australia. We love you.